Hey, what is up people, I'm back with another video and let's check out this pre-arranged game. It was a real human chess played by Capablanca and Steiner. To know more about this game, you can check the description. Capablanca opened with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, knight c3, the 3 knights variation, and now knight f6, the 4 knights variation. Capablanca played here bishop b5, the Spanish variation, bishop b4, white castles, black also castled. Till now we have an equal game. d3, d6, the position is symmetrical. Capablanca played here bishop g5. Black can continue with bishop g4 pinning, but he didn't. He played the move bishop cross c3, b cross c3, and now ne7 by black. Here black wants white to capture on f6 and double the pawns. In return, black will get the open g file for his rook for an attack. So let's go back. After ne7, Capablanca played nh4, preparing f4 push to open up the f file. We have c6, attacking the bishop, bishop c4, putting the bishop on this long diagonal, and now bishop e6. This is an inaccurate move by black, as white can take advantage of it, and Capablanca did with bishop cross f6, first capturing the f6 knight. And now let's say if black captures here with bishop cross c4, then after bishop cross e7, queen cross e7, and knight f5, first saving the knight and attacking the queen, and after queen e6, d cross c4, white is a clear piece up here. So let's go back. After bishop cross f6, it was forced for black to capture with the g pawn, g cross f6, and now bishop cross e6, f cross e6, shattering the pawns in front of the black king, and now queen g4 check, checking the king and forking the e6 pawn. In the game, black played king f7 to save the pawn, but let's say what if king h8, then white can capture on e6. Although this position is good for white, but black can still prolong the game with d5 and so on. So let's go back. After queen g4 check, black played king f7, and now we have to open the position to target the black king. So f4, trying to open the f file. Black played rook g8, attacking the queen, and now queen h5, moving the queen with check, queen h5 check. Here black has many options. If here black plays knight g6, then f5 will come and white will be better. If the king goes to the f8 square, f cross e5, and if d cross e5, then rook takes f6 check, king g7 only move, then comes rook f7 check, king h8, and queen takes h7 will be met. So coming to this position, after queen h5 check, black played king g7, and now the obvious move, we need to open up the f file to bring a rook in the game. So f cross e5, d cross e5, and now we have reached the critical position of the game. It's white to move, and what would you play if you had white pieces? Capablanca played this move rook cross f6. It is an exclamation mark move, as it is destroying all the pawns that are protecting the black king. Let's take a look. What if king doesn't take the rook? Then if a move like knight g6, then white can play rook cross g6, and after h cross g6 can play queen takes g6 check, king f8 only move, and after queen h7, guarding the 7th rank, not allowing the king to escape from the 7th rank. Let's say if black plays queen e7, then after rook f1 check, king e8, and queen cross g8, white is completely winning. So after rook cross f6, if king goes to the h8 square, then rook f7 will follow, threatening mate on h7. If rook g7, then queen cross e5, pinning the rook, and now threatening mate on g7, queen g8, guarding the g7 square, and now rook takes knight, and this position is still winning for white as black is in zugzwang. He captured king cross f6, and now rook f1 check. The only move for black was to block with the knight, knight f5, and now we have three options. We can either capture with the e pawn, the rook, or the knight. In the game, Capablanca captured with the knight. After e cross f5, we have rook cross f5 check. There are two moves for the king now, or three moves. We have seen that if king goes to the g7 square, then it is mate in two. So now the king has two squares, that is king e6 or king e7. In the game, black played king e7, but if the king had gone to the e6 square, it would be same variation. So we have king e7, queen f7 check, king d6, which is the only move, and forcing the black king to come outside. And now rook d6 check, forcing the king to go down the board, king c5. And now another good move by Capablanca, that is, can you find the move? Did you find this move? Queen cross b7. It is again a good move, as if black captures the rook on f6, then it's queen b4 and it is a checkmate. So black played here queen b6, offering queen exchanges. Again a heavy blow by Capablanca, rook cross c6 check. Let's see what happens if king b5. If king goes to the b5, it's check to the white, and after rook cross b6 check, a cross b6 and queen d5 check, king a6. Although black has 2 rooks for a queen, but white has so many pawns, he can clearly win this game. That's why in this position after rook cross c6, black had enough torture and he decided to allow the mate, and he played queen cross c6, and the final move queen b4 is a checkmate. So this was an instructive attacking game by Capablanca. He was the third world champion. In the end, a puzzle for you. It is white to play, and I will wait for your answer in the comment section.
I give in to the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My